The Clone Wars never slowed down, and neither did Anakin Skywalker. Every day was another fire to put out, another squad lost, another planet begging for help. And every night, Chancellor Palpatine's office stayed calm, warm, and quiet, like it lived outside the war. Palpatine greeted Anakin with that same practiced smile. "You look exhausted, my boy," he said gently. "The Council asks everything of you, yet they still doubt you." Anakin said little. He only came because the Force felt wrong here, tight and cold, like a storm trapped behind glass. A messenger droid entered, reporting a separatist plot targeting the Chancellor. Guards moved at once. The room filled with boots and voices. Then Palpatine reacted. Not like a scared leader, like a hunter who had already seen the attack coming. His hand lifted slightly, fingers curling as if pulling invisible strings. The guards froze for half a second. The droid paused mid-step. Anakin felt it clean, sharp control in the Force, heavy with darkness. Palpatine lowered his hand quickly and turned it into a smooth gesture. "Leave us," he told the guards, sounding annoyed, not threatened. They obeyed without question. Anakin's skin went cold. Jedi mind tricks were real, but this was different. This wasn't persuasion. It was domination, the kind that crushed choice. Palpatine walked closer, voice soft. "You sensed it," he said. "Power. Real power. The Jedi fear it, so they call it forbidden." Anakin kept his face still, but his mind raced. Dooku spoke of a master. The Council feared a Sith inside the Senate. And now, the man in front of him was offering darkness like it was a medicine. Anakin's hand drifted toward his lightsaber, then stopped. If he attacked here, Palpatine would call him unstable. The Senate would panic, the clones would obey their chain of command, and the Jedi would be blamed for treason before they could even speak. So Anakin made a choice that tasted like ash. He swallowed his rage and bowed slightly. "I'm sorry, Chancellor," he said. "I'm just tired." Palpatine's smile returned, pleased. "Rest, Anakin. You will need your strength." Anakin walked out slowly, keeping control until the door sealed. Then he moved fast, silent, and shaking, because he finally knew the truth. And now he had to prove it before Darth Sidious realized he'd been seen. Anakin whispered to himself, "It's him." Then his comlink lit up Palpatine calling again, already asking Anakin to return. Anakin sensed Palpatine's dark side control and chose silence over a reckless strike. He returned to the office, forcing his breathing to steady. Palpatine sat behind the desk like nothing happened, fingers steepled, eyes bright with patient interest. "You seem troubled," Palpatine said. "The war burdens you." Anakin played the part. "I need answers," he said. "About Dooku. About his master." Palpatine leaned in slightly. "And, what do you believe?" Anakin chose his bait carefully. "I believe the Sith are closer than we think, maybe even on Coruscant." For a heartbeat, Palpatine's presence sharpened just a flicker, like a blade slipping free. Then it smoothed again. "A frightening thought," he said. Anakin nodded and left, hiding the storm in his chest. He didn't go to the Council. Not yet. If he warned them without proof, they might confront Palpatine openly. And Palpatine could twist that into a political execution. So Anakin set traps. First, he asked Captain Rex for sealed copies of recent battle orders, ones that only the Chancellor's office could authorize. Next, he requested a review of intelligence logs tied to Count Dooku's movements. It looked routine. But Anakin studied the timing, the approvals, the patterns. The patterns matched. Troop deployments coincidentally left key systems exposed right before separatist strikes. Relief fleets arrived late, by minutes that cost thousands of lives. And the authorizations always traced back to one source: Palpatine. Anakin needed one clean link, something undeniable. So he pushed deeper. He visited the Senate archives under the excuse of security review and accessed private communications seized from captured separatist couriers. Most were junk, but one file was encrypted with a cipher older than the Republic, an elegant, cruel code Anakin had seen once before in Jedi history lessons, always tied to Sith writings. His heart pounded as he broke it. A hollow message flickered to life audio only, distorted but clear enough. Dooku's voice. "As you command, my master." Then another voice answered smooth, controlled, amused. Sidious. Anakin felt sick, not because he suspected it, because now he had it, the proof, the smoking blaster. He copied the file onto a secure Jedi datapad and locked it behind layered codes. Then he did something he never thought he'd do. He lied to everyone. He told the Council he needed time off to recover from the front. He told Padme he was just tired. He told Obi-Wan nothing. Because the next step was the most dangerous one. Proof alone wasn't enough. He had to catch Palpatine in the act, with witnesses who couldn't be silenced. And as Anakin left the archives, he felt it again, cold pressure in the Force. Like someone was watching him from behind his own eyes. Anakin didn't turn around. He just walked faster. Because he could feel Sidious smiling, as if the trap was already closing. Anakin found a hidden link between Dooku and Sidious and kept it secret to build a stronger case. Palpatine invited Anakin to a private dinner, away from guards, away from noise. The room was quiet, lit by Coruscant's skyline. It felt too peaceful, like a trap laid with soft hands. "You've grown distant," Palpatine said, pouring 2 glasses. "I worry the Council is turning you against me." Anakin forced a small smile. "I'm focused on the war." Palpatine's eyes didn't blink. "No, you're focused on fear. No, you're focused on fear." The words hit hard. Anakin's fingers tightened around the glass. Palpatine leaned forward, voice lowering. "Padme." Anakin's chest tightened. He kept his face calm, but the Force around him rippled. "Don't speak about her." Palpatine smiled, like he had just found the right lever. "You think your feelings are a weakness," he murmured. "But love is not weakness. Loss is." Anakin stood. "Why are you doing this?" Palpatine's presence spread subtle, heavy, confident. "Because I know you," he said. "I know what keeps you awake. I know what you would do to stop it." Anakin's hand drifted toward his saber again, but Palpatine didn't flinch. He wanted Anakin to reach. Instead, Palpatine offered a story. Ancient Sith teachings, secret healing methods, ways to hold life in place when the universe tried to rip it away. "You don't have to wait for tragedy," Palpatine whispered. "You can prevent it." Anakin's throat went dry. He had no visions yet, not like before, but the idea hit his mind like a poison that tasted sweet. If Sidious could save Padme, would exposing him kill her by accident? Would the Jedi's rules leave her unprotected? Palpatine watched every micro-expression, every flicker of doubt. Anakin's voice shook. "They wouldn't." "They already have," Palpatine interrupted. "Look at the children left on battlefields. Look at the worlds sacrificed for strategy." Anakin felt anger rise. Palpatine fed it carefully, like adding fuel to a fire without letting it explode. Then Palpatine did the most dangerous thing. He reached out with the Force, not to attack, but to soothe. For a moment, Anakin felt calm, like warm water closing over a wound. "You can have peace," Palpatine said. "You can have certainty. All you must do is trust me, completely." Anakin pulled back from that comfort, like it was acid. He realized the truth, in a new way. Sidious wasn't just hiding. He was pushing Anakin toward a choice. A choice with Padme's life as the price. Anakin bowed stiffly. "I need time." Palpatine's smile stayed polite, but his eyes turned colder. "Of course," he said. But time is a luxury, Anakin, and luxuries end. As Anakin left, he felt a chill crawl up his spine. Because Sidious wasn't guessing anymore. He was testing loyalty. Sidious offered Anakin forbidden power through Padme, and made it clear the game had changed. Anakin found Obi-Wan late, in a quiet hangar bay, checking a starfighter. The war had carved lines into Obi-Wan's face, but his eyes were still steady. "Obi-Wan," Anakin said, "I need you to listen, and I need you to believe me." Obi-Wan studied him. "You look like you haven't slept in days." "I haven't," Anakin admitted, "because the Sith Lord we've been hunting is Chancellor Palpatine." The air went still. Obi-Wan's hand slowly left the tool he held. "Anakin, that is a serious accusation." "I have proof," Anakin said, and pulled out a sealed data pad. His voice was low. "Dooku called him Master. I heard it." Obi-Wan didn't reach for the pad right away. He searched Anakin's face, looking for anger, for fear, for the signs of manipulation. "Why come to me?" he asked. "Because the Council will hesitate," Anakin said, "and Palpatine will sense it. If we confront him wrong, he will turn the Senate against us in a day." Obi-Wan finally took the datapad and listened to the recording. His jaw tightened. When it ended, he exhaled slowly, like someone stepping to the edge of a cliff. "Then we cannot waste time," Obi-Wan said. Anakin nodded. "But we can't strike without witnesses. If Palpatine dies in his office, the Republic will call it a coup. The clones will follow orders. The Jedi will be hunted." Obi-Wan's voice turned hard. "So we expose him." They moved like conspirators. Obi-Wan quietly alerted Master Windu and Yoda, but even they were told only what they needed, only when they needed it. No council meeting, no public motion, only a plan. They arranged a controlled confrontation inside the Senate district, where security holos could not vanish without leaving evidence. They placed trusted Jedi nearby, hidden. They made sure Senator Organa would be present, someone respected, someone hard to silence. And Anakin did one more thing. He used Palpatine's own hunger against him. He returned to the Chancellor and pretended to lean closer. He asked about the power to stop death. He let Palpatine think the offer was working. Palpatine smiled, like a fisherman feeling a tug on the line. "Good," he said. "Come tonight. Alone." Anakin agreed. But he wasn't alone. Obi-Wan waited in the shadows of the Senate corridor, cloak drawn, hand near his saber. Windu stood further back, with two masters, ready to close the net. Anakin's heart hammered as the doors to Palpatine's private chamber opened. And Palpatine was already standing, not surprised, almost pleased. Palpatine's smile widened as if he could see the hidden Jedi. Then he whispered, "At last, we stop pretending." Anakin and Obi-Wan set a trap with witnesses, but Sidious looked pleased, not afraid. The moment Anakin stepped in, Sidious attacked. No speeches, no delay. His blade snapped out, red and fast, and the room filled with the howl of a predator finally unmasked. Mace Windu burst through the side door with two masters. Obi-Wan followed a heartbeat later. 4 lightsabers ignited at once, turning the chamber into a cage of colored fire. Sidious laughed. "So many Jedi, and still too late." He moved like a shadow, tearing through light. One master fell back instantly, slashed across the shoulder. Windu held the center, furious and controlled, forcing Sidious to give ground. Anakin stayed between them, eyes locked on Palpatine. He expected fear. He saw excitement. Then Sidious stopped fighting for 1 second, just long enough to speak into his comlink. "Execute Orders 66. Anakin's blood turned to ice. Across the galaxy, clone commanders paused, then lifted rifles toward Jedi generals they had followed for years. Some fired without thinking. Others hesitated, confusion flickering behind helmets. But Obi-Wan's earlier warning mattered. Yoda had quietly ordered Jedi to keep distance from clone formations when possible. Trusted allies like Bail Organa had been alerted to watch for sudden legal moves. And a handful of Jedi ships were already fueled, ready to run. Still, the first wave was brutal. On a jungle world, a Jedi fell mid-sentence, shot in the back. On a desert outpost, a Padawan screamed as clones turned the cannons inward. In orbit above a separatist system, a Jedi cruiser was hit by its own escort squadron. The difference in this timeline was simple. It didn't stay quiet. Jedi who survived sent emergency signals. Senators saw security footage of clones firing on Jedi in public streets. Civilian news droids caught the chaos. The story spread faster than Sidious could smother it. Back on Coruscant, Windu shouted, "He's done it! He's turned the army!" Sidious grinned through the clash. "The Republic has chosen," he hissed. "And it will choose again." Anakin's hands trembled. This wasn't just about the Jedi now. This was the Republic's spine, snapping in real time. He struck harder, driving Sidious back toward the chamber balcony. Obi-Wan pressed from the side, working in perfect rhythm with Anakin. Like old days, before lies, before politics, before fear. Sidious leapt away, cloak flaring, and vanished into the Senate complex. Outside, alarms wailed. Clones were already sealing districts. Gunships swarmed. The purge had started, but it had become something Sidious never wanted. A public civil war. Anakin stared at the chaos outside and realized the truth. If Sidious escaped tonight, the galaxy would burn to the core. Order 66 began early, but the purge became public, turning the Republic into open war. Coruscant became a city of checkpoints and whispers. Clone patrols swept streets, protecting the Senate while hunting Jedi survivors. Jedi safe houses filled with wounded, frightened knights who couldn't believe the army had turned. Anakin moved through it like a storm held inside skin. He helped Obi-Wan evacuate younglings. He led small strikes to break clone blockades without slaughtering men he once called brothers. And all the while, one thought pounded in his head. Padme. He found her in their apartment, staring at the skyline where gunships crossed like insects. Her face was calm, but her hands shook slightly. "They'll blame the Jedi," Padme said. "And they'll blame you." Anakin pulled her close. "I won't let anyone touch you." Padme looked up at him. "That's what scares me," she whispered. That night, Sidious reached out. Not with a comlink, with the Force. Anakin felt the presence slide into his thoughts like smoke. A voice, smooth and intimate, spoke from nowhere. "You could end this in one strike." Anakin clenched his jaw and pushed back, but the voice returned. "The Jedi will die. The Senate will applaud. And Padme will be crushed between them." Anakin's eyes burned. "Get out of my head." Then Sidious showed him images possible futures, twisted but sharp. Padme surrounded by armed guards, dragged away for questioning. Padme caught in crossfire as riots erupted. Padme standing alone, watching Anakin hunted as a traitor. And behind every image was the same offer. "Take my power and win fast." Anakin fell to one knee, breathing hard. He hated that the fear felt real. He hated that Sidious understood him better than anyone else. Obi-Wan found him in a dark corridor near the temple ruins. "Anakin," he said carefully, "talk to me." Anakin didn't look up. "He's targeting her," he said. "He knows she's my weakness." Obi-Wan's voice softened. "She isn't your weakness. She's your reason to stay human." Anakin laughed once, hollow. Obi-Wan stepped closer. "Anakin, listen. Sidious wants you to think only his power can protect her. That's how he wins." Anakin finally met Obi-Wan's eyes. And what if he's right? Obi-Wan flinched just slightly. The doubt hurt more than anger. That was when the emergency alert hit their comlinks. Senate security forces moving to detain suspected collaborators. The location tag appeared instantly. Padme Amidala. Anakin's breath stopped. His world narrowed to one point, one name. Obi-Wan grabbed his arm. "We go together." But Anakin's eyes went distant, storm-dark. "If we're too slow, she dies." Anakin ignited his lightsaber and ran too fast, too alone. And in the Force, Sidious followed, smiling like he had finally won. Padme was marked for detention, and Anakin ran feeling Sidious smiling in the Force. Anakin reached the Senate Plaza as security lines tightened. Gunships hovered overhead. Senators rushed inside under escort, faces pale, voices tense. Padme stood near the entrance, held by guards who looked nervous, not confident. Anakin pushed through. "She's under my protection," he snapped. A commander raised a hand. "Orders from the Chancellor." That name lit the fuse. Obi-Wan and Windu arrived seconds later with a small team, moving like blades wrapped in calm. The crowd saw them. Cameras turned. And Sidious stepped onto the central platform, as if he had planned the timing down to the second. "Citizens of the Republic," Palpatine called. Voice amplified across the chamber. "The Jedi have attempted to overthrow the Senate. Voice Arwem, voice amplify of this die. Then tempted." Anakin stepped forward, voice loud enough to carry. "He's Darth Sidious." The room shook with gasps. Senators turned. Guards tightened grips. Palpatine's face twisted into wounded innocence. "Anakin," he sighed, "after all I have done for you, you repeat their lies." Windu raised the datapad recording, projecting the audio to the chamber. Dooku's voice echoed, "As you command, my master." Then Sidious's smooth reply followed. Silence hit like a hammer. Palpatine didn't deny it. He smiled. Then his body language changed. Shoulders straight, presence expanding. The friendly mask dropped, revealing something old and cold underneath. "So," Sidious said softly, "you brought the whole Republic to watch." He ignited a red blade and moved faster than most eyes could track. 2 guards fell before they even lifted rifles. Panic erupted. Senators screamed. Droids recorded everything. Anakin and Obi-Wan intercepted together, sabers flashing blue against red. Windu pressed from the other side, locking Sidious in a deadly triangle. Sidious laughed, spinning, striking, testing them like toys. "Your order is weak," he hissed. "It breaks when the galaxy squeezes." Anakin fought with raw force, anger held on a chain. He wasn't fighting for politics. He was fighting for Padme, for truth, for every Jedi shot by clones who thought they were obeying law. Sidious surged with lightning, arcing across the chamber. It tore through railings and scorched pillars. Anakin blocked part of it, but the blast sent senators diving for cover. Holocams kept rolling. The monster was visible now. Padme watched, horror and clarity mixing in her eyes. "It's him," she whispered. Windu leapt high and drove Sidious back toward the podium. Obi-Wan cut off his escape route. Anakin stepped into the center and shouted, "End it! Surrender!" Sidious's eyes burned yellow. "Surrender?" he snarled. "I am the Republic." Then clone gunships outside turned their cannons inward, aiming at the Senate itself. The Senate dome shook as the first cannon warmed up. And Anakin realized Sidious would kill everyone here, just to win the story. Sidious fought in the Senate with witnesses everywhere, and clone gunships aimed at the chamber. The cannons fired. Energy slammed into the Senate structure, shaking pillars and cracking the Great Dome. Senators screamed and ran. Security lines collapsed into chaos. Sidious used the fear like oxygen. Anakin felt the moment splitting in two. One path where the Jedi died and the Republic believed the lie, and one path where the truth survived long enough to spread. He made his move. Anakin launched upward with the Force, landing on the shattered balcony ledge. He raised both hands and caught the next cannon blast mid-flight, not stopping it completely, but bending it away, carving a glowing trench through empty air instead of the Senate floor. Obi-Wan stared up, stunned. Windu didn't. He pressed Sidious harder, locking sabers, forcing the Sith to give ground. Sidious snarled and hurled lightning at Anakin from across the chamber. Anakin deflected it, but the shock hit his body like a warning. Sidious wasn't trying to kill him fast. Sidious was trying to break him in front of everyone. Padme crawled behind cover, eyes locked on Anakin. She saw his struggle and understood the cruel design. Save the Senate, or chase Sidious. Protect the Republic, or protect the person you love. Split him until he snapped. Outside, clone units hesitated as holocams broadcast Sidious's face, his lightning, his blade. Some commanders barked orders anyway. Others faltered, confused by the evidence. That hesitation mattered. Bail Organa pushed emergency authorization through the Senate network, sending the recording to every major system. "This is the truth," the message carried. "Choose wisely." Across the galaxy, worlds paused. Some declared for the Jedi, furious at betrayal. Others doubled down on law and order, fearing instability more than evil. Fleet groups broke into factions. Brother turned on brother. Inside the Senate, Sidious realized he was losing control of the narrative. So he changed the goal. He lunged toward Padme's position. Anakin saw it and felt the old fear detonate in his chest. He could strike Sidious down right now with pure rage, pure power. He could end the war fast, at the cost of stepping into darkness to do it. Or he could hold the line, protect Padme, protect the witnesses, and trust the galaxy to fight back. Anakin dropped from the balcony like a meteor, landing between Sidious and Padme. His saber rose. His breath came heavy. "Touch her," Anakin growled, "and I will end you." Sidious smiled, delighted. "Yes," he whispered. "Now choose." The galaxy was watching. The war was splitting, and Padme was behind him. Anakin stood on the edge of the dark, and Sidious waited for the fall.